Wolf stopped a tractor in the field. It was guarding something. The driver didn't expect to see this. Valera lived in a small town, and at the age of 15, he started working as a tractor driver. He was proud of himself and the work, but apart from just driving the truck, he was also good at fixing things. A great mechanic who could fix anything on wheels, radio, TV, and even a toaster. Once Valera was plowing a collective farm field in spring. He was riding the tractor while wearing headphones and listening to his favorite music blasting at a full volume. He started daydreaming about how much he liked springtime, and soon there will be open-air discos and lots of girls. Women of all ages loved Valera and were swooned over by his charm, so he could pick anyone he wanted. However, the heartthrob did not just want anyone and was disappointed by all the local girls. They were too easy and uninterested. All the women shared the same dream since childhood of marrying a handsome and rich man. The playboy wasn't looking for a serious relationship with any of these girls. He would go out, hold hands, enjoy the moonlight, watch movies, and even kiss, but nothing more. All of these girls were ready to sleep and get pregnant quickly so they could get married and have a stamp on their passports. Valera wanted to pursue his love and win her over, unlike someone who would be ready to jump on the bed when saw an opportunity. He could never trust any of those girls, especially when he was out of town on business trips. Being the most desirable bachelor in the whole town wasn't easy, he thought. The driver was brought back to reality when he suddenly hit the brakes once he saw a wolf standing in the middle of the field. Valera was so lost in his thoughts that he almost ran over the wolf standing there, but thankfully the tractor was going slow. The wolf was standing there motionless, so the young man honked and turned on the headlights, shining right into the wolf's eyes. No reaction. Was he chained? If not, then did some cruel person leave him on purpose to pass away? Valera would never hurt animals. He loved them and was almost about to run over the poor animal. He jumped out of the tractor, but the wolf did not budge. Surprisingly, the animal lover wasn't afraid of the wild beast. The handsome man had a strong physique as well and could easily fight the predator or can jump back in the tractor. The wolf did not move at all. Was he guarding something? Valera walked forward to check out and saw a pair of a hand sticking out of the ground. He cursed and realized why the wolf was standing there. It was guarding its prey. However, the animal could not have buried the body. Then who and why would someone do this? If it weren't for the wolf, the tractor would have run over the person, and nobody would have ever found it. The man took out his phone and was about to call the police when he saw the hands move. Immediately, Valera started digging and the person turned out to be a woman. The lady started coughing but was unconscious. He took her in his arms and ran home quickly. He even forgot about the tractor. He laid her down on the bed and the wolf sat beside her. The guy took out his phone again and was about to call the doctor, but she caught his hand, looked pitifully at him, and shook her head no. Valera understood that the girl did not want the police and the doctor to get involved. He calmed her down and promised to not tell anyone, but he had to go and get the tractor. It was dangerous to leave it there, as the chairman would get upset and take his portrait down from the wall of honor. He parked the tractor in the farmhouse and returned home to find the woman under the bed covers and the wolf sitting on the floor. Valera must have forgotten to close the door. He asked the girl not to be afraid of the wild beast. It was because of the wolf that the girl was found and saved, otherwise, he would have run the tractor over her body. She gave him a sad look and raised her eyebrows. He petted the wolf to reassure her, and the girl also petted the animal and smiled. Valera asked her if she was mute. The girl shrugged in reply. He further investigated and asked about her name, address, etc. She shrugged again. It was clear that she had lost her memory and was unable to speak. The lady nodded. So, they both lived together in the bachelor's house, the woman and the wolf. The wolf had become attached to the young woman and never left her side. She also started helping in the house after feeling better. Indeed, word travels faster than anything else. Rumor spread across the village that Valera had found himself a bride and gotten into the bed with her without wasting any time. All the single women in the town started hating the poor girl, as all of them wanted to marry the macho man. But he had rejected them all and instead bought an out-of-town girl home. Valera did not share how he met the girl, so the people started building up absurd stories, and each one was better than the previous. After a while, the girl left the house for shopping. She wrote something on a piece of paper and gave it to the vendor. The locals realized that she was mute and tried to persuade Valera not to marry her, but he wasn't planning it anyway. Although the woman was beautiful and could cook, he just saw the girl as a friend and pitied her, nothing more. How could they start a relationship? She didn't even know her name. It was when the town belittled her that Valera paid attention to the young lady and began to like her. One day, when both were returning from shopping, the girl saw a car approaching and turned pale. The car belonged to the chairman's son, who visited the town only for fishing. The car halted, and the son jumped out of the car and ran towards them. "Angelica, is that you? I heard you were executed," the chairman's son said. Angelica answered, "Is there anywhere I can go to get away from you? What on earth are you doing here?" Valera was stunned. "So you were pretending all this time?" he almost shouted at her. Chairman's son laughed at the fact that the girl's savior knew nothing about her. He then revealed that Angelica is a con woman and scams people. She sleeps with them and then runs away with their money. The chairman's son was a victim too and heard that her procurer had killed and buried her. The dumbfounded Valera turned around and went home. He ended up liking the person he wanted to avoid. Angelica ran behind him and knocked on the door, begged for forgiveness, and confessed her love. Even the wolf howled from inside, but he was adamant. Valera was plowing the field when he saw a familiar wolf again standing in the middle of the field. The girl was lying on the ground and asked him to run over her. She couldn't live without him. He picked her up and went home. After a month they got married, and a year Angelica gave birth to twins. The wolf lived with them until his death.